All right, let's talk about something we've all probably wondered. Why on earth do edibles take so long to kick in? You're not alone if you've asked that question. Today, we're going to get into the actual science behind that whole waiting game.
I mean, it's such a familiar feeling, isn't it? You eat your edible, you get comfy, you're waiting for that magic to happen, and then crickets. Nothing. The clock just keeps ticking, and every single minute feels like an hour. It's that classic, is this thing on moment? And that impatience, oh man, it so often leads to that classic rookie mistake. You know the one, thinking, it's not working, and then downing another dose. And then, maybe an hour later, you realize, oh no, I am in for a wild ride. So we're going to break down why that happens, so you can totally avoid that trip. Unless, of course, that's exactly what you're going for.
Okay, so to really get why there's such a delay, we have to follow the edible on its long and winding road through your body. Seriously, don't think of it like a direct flight. It's way more like a scenic route, with a couple of really, really important stops along the way.
You know, here's a fantastic way to picture it. Smoking or vaping, that's your microwave. It's super fast, it's hot, it gets the job done quickly. Edibles, though, they're the slow cookers of the cannabis world. They take their sweet time, but the result is a totally different and honestly, often richer experience. The number one ingredient here is just patience.
So let's actually break down that journey step by step. First, obviously, you eat it. Then, that little edible has to travel all the way through your stomach and your intestines. It's basically stuck in digestive traffic. After that, it gets to the most important stop on the route, your liver. This is where a huge transformation happens. And only after all of that does it finally get into your bloodstream, which is when you start to feel anything at all.
Okay, let's zoom in on that stop in the liver, because this is where the real magic trick happens. It's not just some quick pit stop. No. It's a full-on chemical makeover.
So, when THC gets to your liver, it gets metabolized into a completely different compound called 11-hydroxy-THC. And here's the kicker, the really important part. This new stuff is way more potent than the THC you'd get from smoking. Why? Because it can cross the blood-brain barrier way more easily. This whole transformation is the secret sauce behind why an edible high feels so different. It's often way more intense and much more of a body-focused feeling.
This huge difference in the experience, it actually brings to mind a classic fable. It's the perfect way to compare these two highs. It really is a tale of the tortoise versus the hare.
Think about it. Smoking or vaping, that's the hare. It sprints right out of the gate, you get a super fast, intense feeling, but it's over pretty quickly. Edibles, they're the tortoise. The start is slow and steady, but once it gets going, the experience is way more intense, more body-focused, and it is absolutely in it for the long haul.
So with all this in mind, how do you actually navigate the whole edible trip? How do you make sure that slow and steady tortoise pace works for you instead of against you? All right, let's get into some real practical takeaways.
First things first, you gotta manage your expectations. We're talking anywhere from 30 minutes to a full 2 hours, sometimes even longer, for an edible to kick in. It all depends on your own metabolism, if you've eaten that day, the dose, a bunch of factors. So if you're, say, 45 minutes in and you're feeling absolutely nothing, just take a breath, the journey is still happening.
And this brings us to what is without a doubt the golden rule of edibles. Start low and go slow. Seriously, wait at least 2 hours, 2 full hours, before you even think about having more. Just remember the old saying, you can always add more, but you can never, ever take it away.
But hang on, what if we look at that long wait a different way? What if it's not a bug, but a feature? I mean, that slow start leads to these really sustained, long-lasting effects. That makes edibles absolutely perfect for something like a movie marathon or just a super lazy Sunday. It's a smoother, more immersive experience where you're not having to constantly redose.
And that right there really sums the whole thing up. Good things come to those who wait, right? Well, great highs come to those who respect the edible. Patience isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely essential for a good time. Respect the journey, and the reward will be totally worth it.
So, at the end of the day, you're not in a race. You're on a chill stroll. The next time you find yourself checking the clock, just remember that. And really, what's the rush?